Hey folks, it's Tom, your Frugal Prepper. So, had a little trouble with the mower starting every time. First of all, I have a cheap Chinese starter that I put on here, which is, I still have the original one, which wasn't the original problem, so I could put it back on. Let's see if it does it here. I know that works. It starts slipping and it sounds like it's turning sometimes. And that first crank is real hard on it. It's backfiring. I don't know if you heard it there. You heard the starter like, There it goes. So that starter might be bad, or the gear might be bad on it, but the engine is also putting out too much torque for starting. And what that is the valves need adjusted. That's what it was last time when it wouldn't start. So 4 or 5 years ago I adjusted the valves, but they obviously need adjusted again. So I'm going to take you through pulling up this valve cover and adjusting those valves. So I also want to pull the top cover off of this guy and just take a look at that starter and see what's going on with it, and see if I need to replace that too. Or if maybe it's got a built-in slip when it hits too high of a compression. That's possible, I guess. I don't know. We'll take a look and see what's slipping on it. You gotta take these torques out. I'm working with my shed tools. Okay, I already took those 2 back bolts out of this cover, so this thing should come off here. It might have something. There it goes. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, this starter is a pretty cheapy Chinesey one here, and it has this plastic gear on it. I think it's just probably set to slip. I don't think the old one was plastic, but that gear is getting ate up pretty quick. I don't know if I want to put the old one back on there or not, but let's go ahead and check the valve adjustment first, and then we'll see if it starts every time. I mean, I don't have to put the starter on here now. I have another one, so you know, it won't be a big deal. So let's take this apart. Now I gotta find out what I do with my ratchet. There it is. Oh, hurt my hand earlier. Oh, come on. There. I hurt my hand with the screw. Looks like this could use a new gasket. These were not very tight. We'll see if this gasket will come off in one piece and I can tighten it back down. If not, I have a new one. I keep one on hand. These are 3/8. This is all standard size bolts. It's gonna leak some oil. That's normal. There's gonna be a little oil under there. leak quite a bit of oil, by golly. But that gasket is fine. So we do not need to replace that. Here's our valve. And this is our exhaust valve. And this is our intake valve. Which that comes in here. It goes down. But this valve opens to let the intake. And this one's right by the exhaust. So this is our exhaust valve, I do believe. Maybe. Let's see. Oh yeah, here you can see this exhaust comes right in there, right in line with that valve. The intake, it comes in and goes down through the head and back in here. So now we just want to check those valves, and what we're going to do is disconnect the plug wire to make sure it will not start. Quite a bit of compression there. Okay. That's the intake. Or that's exhaust. This is the intake. And now this is on the compression strut. So that means both of those valves are closed. So we have to check them now. So what happens on this engine is it has a compression release. And if the valves are too loose, then that compression release will not engage fully. And then it won't want to start. So these should be 0.003 to 0.005 on the intake. So we'll slide the 0.003 in here. Oh, that's the exhaust. Okay, here's the intake. That's way loose. The intake should be 0.003 to 0.005. So let's take a 0.005 one in here. Oh, let me get this, the 0.005 one. There. Slips through a little too easy. So what we're going to do is tighten that down. There's a 0.04. It's really loose. And then the exhaust should be 0.005 to 0.007. So we'll take a 0.007 and go in there. The exhaust is good. It's less than 0.007. Here's a 0.006. Pretty good. 0.005 is supposed to be its minimum. Oh, it's too tight. So the exhaust valve needs loosened a little, and the intake valve needs tightened. So now we'll get, I forget how this works. You have to use a little tiny Torx in the middle, I think, and then let's use the next size up there. Yeah, so there's the Torx bit that fits. And I think you have to break this loose and then you tighten it with this one. So let me see what we have to do to break that loose. A 3/8 does not fit it. Almost fits it. Might be a 7/16. Let me go get a wrench and then we'll crack this one loose and back it off just a little, and we'll crack this one loose and tighten it up just a little, and then we'll see if it starts better. Alright, I don't know what size this is. It's not a 10, so this 3/8 wrench does not fit on it, but this 12-point wrench will. So it fits a 12-point, but it doesn't fit a flat wrench. And it looks like this bolt isn't so that it has even flat points around it, so I guess that's some kind of a weird 12-point bolt. So we'll break this loose a little. It's pulling that whole stud forward and backwards. It's not supposed to do that. There, this one broke loose like it's supposed to. And then this should turn. Okay, so this one we need to tighten it up to about 3/1000ths. 3/1000ths. And this is our intake. Closer. Okay, now she doesn't fit. Now she does fit. Now let's try the 4/1000ths. Four-thousandths fits. Let's try the 5/1000ths. 5/1000ths fits. Okay. No, she does not fit. I mean, it's real close there. Fits with a little drag. It does not fit. Alright, she's dragging through there tight. There we go. So that's set for 3/1000ths. Now we'll just tighten that down and we'll double check it. Nope. We'll untighten it. Man. Okay, that does not fit. That does fit. Now we're tying her up. And she fits in there with just a little drag. Okay. Now we have to figure out how we're going to adjust this one. Because its 0.7 is... Let's look and see what it actually is. I gotta find a 0.7 one. 0.003. 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's our 7. It's 7 does not fit. And we tried 5 and it didn't fit either. So this valve is too tight. But what we're seeing is the whole thing wants to turn out of the head. I don't know if we can go ahead and pull that stud out of there and get it separated or not. Let's try it. Well, that one, 10mm fits. So let's try. Just take it apart now. Interesting. Let me try. Get it up right here. Okay. Well, now it may be that this is way too tight in here too. So let me take a 3/8, put on here, and let me try that. There it goes. Okay. So this lock nut is what actually tightens it and it keeps it stationary. But it's the other one that you have to adjust. Okay. First question is, are we going to be able to get that in there tight enough now? Now let's put this back in and tighten it down. I got the wrong wrench. Okay. This one takes a 10mm. I really don't want to have to go back in and get a socket out of the shed. There, okay, now she's tight. So now we're ready to put our rocker arm back on. And put this in. Grab our 3/8. Huh. Oh, yeah. Our push rod was way out, but it shouldn't have been. There's no way that can go on there like that. That push rod just pushed way back in farther than it's supposed to. Okay, there, that opens the intake, and now we're gonna open the exhaust. And that just may be that should be loose and wobbly, and it's not. It's all like not wanting to come out. Yeah, okay. Oh, now I done it. Oh, there it goes. It doesn't look like it's bent. There goes, that push rod sinks clear back down in there. And it should not be doing that. Whoa. That's opening that valve, and this one is just this push rod is not moving, and I just saw it move. So I have to wonder if something is falling out inside the engine. Where'd those go? It's a possibility. I don't know. I've never had one of these opened up before. Maybe it's supposed to go down there. No. I need to take the plug out of it. I think that's the problem. Is it is supposed to go over there, right there, and it was not. It was sliding in. Okay, so that's the problem. The push rod kind of slides it in. It's supposed to go over this way, and if you put it to the inside, it doesn't. It goes somewhere else. There. So now we'll go ahead and put this back on to hold it in place. Oh, come on, you piece of crap. Now all I want to do is turn it. Yep, there it goes. Now it's moving. There we are on the compression stroke, so they're both that. Now let's check to make sure it's 0.7. And it's 0.5 to 0.7. So I really want to set her closer to the 0.5. Right about there. Now we're gonna hold that. We're gonna wait here. And we're just gonna tighten that one. We're gonna check. Yep, we're perfect. And we'll go 0.3 on the other one. Maybe. 0.6, 0.5, 0.3, there we go. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, so now the valves are both set perfect. So that's it. If you take that rocker arm off, that little push rod can fall down in another spot, not hit the cam. You have to kind of, you can feel it. It has to go up and over. So we're going to put this valve cover back on. Tighten that. Ooh, sounds like we got a Jasper. This put back on here. Okay, that's back on there. We'll hook our plug wire back up. Now we're going to see if it starts without spinning that starter, or if we need to put a new starter on it. Let's find out. Nope, see that? That starter's bad. Starter is bad sauce. Alright, so I got the new starter. I do believe we need to disconnect the battery first here. Here's the old starter that came off of it, and it was good. but I couldn't get it to start, and I found out that was because that exhaust valve was all out of clearance and it was way too loose. And I'd already replaced the starter with a Chinese one from Amazon, so I just left it on there. But I kept this old original one, so now we'll put the original one back on there and see if it does any more of that slippy dippy stuff. But let me work on getting this battery unhooked. Okay, I got the battery unhooked now, so now we can pull off this main positive wire. Oh, come on, don't go under there. Really? You gonna do that to me? It kind of went under the engine there. There it goes. Okay. Now we got that. We're ready to pull that. And so now we just have to get these wires out. They're up here. I'll get those bolts out. There's the 2 bolts that hold it. Oh, okay. I might have put that in there a little too tight last time. What's that? What's my digger? Oh, that was a couple of wires. No, this one I think is tricky because it's kind of at an angle. It interferes with the starter motor. Okay, that's got that bolted out. Now we can take this junky starter. I mean, it's got a good motor. It feels good. They're just really cheesed on this gear assembly. It's a shame. Although the original one don't feel that much better, honestly. Kind of junky. I guess, you know, you're not going to damage your flywheel with that being soft plastic like it is. Oh, I got to put the thingy bob on here. There's a thingy bob and it holds these 2 wires right there. Let me just get it up here and get it lined up. Okay, now I gotta get something. Let me just try my finger. Just to move. Ah, nope. There. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, that's got that one. Now we just have to do this one. this one. There we go. All right, now that starter's in. Now we're just gonna hit this. And you know what? I think this doesn't have the starter solenoid on it, so this wire has the solenoid farther back, so we didn't actually need to disconnect the battery, but we did just in case. Better safe than sorry. Now we'll tighten that up. That'll end up going back up in there, but now I gotta hook up the battery and then we'll give it a shot. Okay, now we're gonna try to give it a shot. Well, that's what that starter was doing before. And then you have to turn it over where it's not right on a compression stroke. And that will usually start. So I guess this is a bad starter, and the other starter is also bad. The other starter has a bad top piece on it that's sliding. And I don't know why it's sliding or what, but I guess I need another starter. So that's exactly what that starter was doing before, but I put this starter in and then it still wouldn't start, and then I adjusted the valves and it started starting. So I must have had a bad starter, probably just from trying to crank it over so much with bad valves. And now I've also, because now I know the valves are set right, and this one starts it, except it starts slipping. Either that or my compression release isn't working on the motor. That could be a possibility too. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it back together, put it away for tonight, and I'll see about getting another starter on the Amazon and trying that out. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. It's Tom, Frugal Prepper.